Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome. Oh no! So just going to be our background music now. So this is the first in-person Brad and Abbey show.
Yes, this is brand new. I actually never thought about that.
Although we decided we were going to do it in person.
So cool. Yeah. This is our second test run doing live from here, the boonies. My internet can't handle his OBS and all that awesome stuff. So
well, I think also too, I think my laptop also can handle it all at once either. I think that was a deciding factor.
And guys, real quick, can you hear us? That's the one thing.
But yeah, 5x5 in the chat. Give us a 5x5 if you could hear us. Hopefully everything's coming through. I know it's not like the best mic because we're just going through the mic in the computer. Hopefully it's loud enough.
We might need to yell, Brad. We might need to yell.
Can you hear us down in the lower 48?
Hello.
So we have some real stuff we're going to go over, of course, like always. But also, too, we talk a little bit about my trip.
His adventures
this is
with me.
Been really cool. Definitely. Oh, this isn't scrolling. Okay, 5x5. People can hear us.
Oh, sweet guys. Awesome.
Yes.
I know. Wow. Great response.
Amazing.
Love it.
We're not up, if you've noticed, we're not up in Rumble yet. So, but we will be hopefully in a week or two. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Rumble's coming soon. I know it's on the page with all the links, but Rumble's definitely coming soon. But anyway, so yeah. So actually this works pretty good.
Does it? We're rocking and rolling. He's using my camera, but he's on his laptop and we're seeing, he was all like click and then it was like play. And I was like, wow, that's smooth. So we had some, did you want to show them some pictures of your documentation?
Yeah, so before we get into the actual some of the, of course, crazy stuff has been going on, like always. But you thought first it would be fun if we did a little bit about my journey.
We're going to show Brad's adventure to Alaska. Hold on. No, it's not going to be too much. It won't take too much time. But I thought it would be really cool.
Yeah, I think it would be fun. So this is, obviously when I was getting on the train, this is when I started my journey. Now, it took, and this is a good omen, I feel, 17 hours. It was a 17-hour journey. This is 4 a.m. in the morning, and I'd already been up since like 8 p.m. that night before. So.
Oh yeah, he was trying to get some sleep beforehand, but of course it was his daytime. And then when it came time to travel, then you would be going to bed. But anyways, he was up for it was more than 24 hours.
By the time, because then we got here, and your adrenaline's running stuff, we're hanging out and stuff. I think by the time I went to bed, finally after everything, it was like 36 hours.
Dang!
But this is the beginning of the journey. When I think I'm only up for like 8 hours at this point. And New Jersey Transit. Now these are Summit Mountains. First of all, the whole north half of the country is covered in snow. I've realized I've never really flown with snow before.
Yeah,
it was so cool to watch. I always like the window seat.
See, and most of the time when I fly, it was just Washington pretty much always has snow, like the big mountains.
Yeah.
So just the area that doesn't have snow often would be a little more rare for me. So that's cool. It's like an opposite. So it's like the opposite.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was cool. This is either East Washington or Idaho. This was basically when I was starting to get somewhat close to Seattle. And I thought these were really cool mountains here. And then this is the plane. So I did take 3 planes and they got smaller. They get the rides got shorter and the planes got smaller as I went. This is the final little island hopper.
Yes. So at this plane time, you had already gone on 2 separate flights, correct?
Yeah, 2 separate flights.
Jetliners, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then then he advances to level 5.
Yeah. This is the main boss right here. And you'd only seated 9 people. This is my view from inside the plane. Tight. Yes, so tight. This is when Abby picked me up from the little plane. You can obviously see the look on my face that I've been traveling for 17 hours.
No, dude, you're like, dude, I got this. Like, I'm a pro. Come on, traveling 35 hours, no problem, man.
Yeah. Please, come on, give me a break. These are some of the pictures. Okay. I mean, it is true. And people have always told me about the Pacific Northwest in general. It is just gorgeous. It is absolutely just the most beautiful place ever.
It is fabulous. But like he's come at the time when it's still wet, because we do live in the rainforest here. So I told him, like, if you come in summertime, it'll be perfect. But still, he's like, it's gorgeous.
They keep insisting that this is subpar right here. Like, okay, this is awesome. So, but here's another cool picture I thought of one of the mountains in the distance, and this is a cool beach. And they had some camping grounds that we were hanging out in.
That's a really fun
This is
beach.
us on the beach. Yeah, we were finding like cool stones and stuff like that there.
I can spend like, a good half of a day looking for glass and like agates. Like there's probably got to be somebody out there that does the rock thing. Glass, agates, shells. I gather it all at cool beach wood. And by the time I usually come back from the beach, like my pockets are full. You're like walking around.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah.
See, it would be cool to do like a tabletop You can put a whole lacquer over that.
That's insane.
And you can make like cool patterns with them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or if you do like a fire.
A mantle?
Yes. Get like
that's
a
what I
fire
want to
mantle.
do.
So I can, I can concrete them in.
Yeah, dude.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, like there's so many fun things you can do with like the resources here. You just gotta get creative, and just go with the flow. Be like, hey, that would work really cool. But yeah, there's a lot of cool rocks and things. Like there's quartz and things you can find too, and some pretty stuff like that.
Yeah. There was a lot of cool stuff there. This is cool. These were some totem poles. There's some are like a couple of these were new, but most of them are yeah. Like an Indian headdress just dropped down from the sky as we were looking at it. It was weird. This is a magical place. But most of these are preserved, right? Most of these are older. I think there was only one or two new ones.
They are. Those are from. So they were getting, rain damage and stuff. It rains here a lot. Oh, there you are. Oh, okay. Wait. Go to the beginning. Those things.
This is a good one.
Okay. Those were there, for like, I don't know, beginning of the 1900s. What would it say? 1920 or something?
It's just something like, it looked like they were almost like preserved in 1930.
Okay, yeah.
But they might have been even longer.
Well, the natives were there, and then the white men were coming there, and they were selling them fur and trading stuff. And then they actually developed I think they developed a fish thing where they would harvest the fish from the natives, and so it was actually a really cool situation. There was no persecution or whatever there.
That's really cool.
Which is cool. There'll be photos of them, and they're totally like native, right? But then they'll have like this top hat on. Like they'll have half like
am Abraham.
Yeah, it's really cool. I love it.
And then we also found there's a special totem pole there. Oh wait, okay. There's one more picture of us in my special totem pole.
Oh, the special. Oh, I was like, what are you talking about? Yeah, as we were journeying, Brad was doing a lot of this.
All right, just casually at the totem pole land, and we have discovered. I can zoom in. Pepe. And he is green.
The frog's not alive.
Pepe! Yes!
I got a little close up of our Pepe totem pole. So.
Oh, where do I live? Val House is where in Alaska do you live, Blue Eyes? Don't dox, but generally.
When you're writing a book?
No. Southeast Alaska.
Oh.
So like the lower part, we're not way up where the polar bears roam, which, might be a fun adventure sometime. Brad's like, no.
Well, I was telling her, I was like, everyone where I live, everyone pictures Alaska as just white, like how you picture Norway or something.
Yeah, some people think we live in igloos and stuff. Sometimes I roll with it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like back in the day, like even online, like, if they saw you were from Alaska, like, so you guys live in igloos? I'm like, oh yeah, totally live in igloos. Like
that's a low extreme. This is us coming out of the igloo right here.
Yeah.
This from this morning. This is a cool little adventure. And then just there you go. That's another cool little. This is what the scenery. This is basically just what it looks like everywhere.
Yes.
So
we're very much in the woods out here.
Yeah.
Very much.
It's pretty freaking awesome.
But you've having fun.
Oh yeah. Well, it's funny. Everyone I've been encountering here has basically been like, "It's okay." Like I'm like I should be in shock.
Okay. So we got. Okay,
no. Oh, I think it's funny. I think it's awesome. Because I think people think like New Jersey, New York, they picture like the heart of Manhattan. Like, where I come from, I grew up across from a creek, down the block from a lake, with woods behind me. Like New Jersey has a little of everything.
I was basically waiting for culture shock, and like the whole time he's just totally fine. So I guess it works out. You do really good.
Also, too, like I said, I grew up with the Scouts camping everywhere, and then upstate New York, actually the Catskills, where we've been going my whole life, actually does look a lot. This is what this reminds me of. Only the trees are a lot taller here. Some of the mountains are bigger, and maybe I know the Catskills does have big mountains, but I guess not where my family is. But this is gorgeous. I mean, it is just absolutely cool. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And we get to broadcast from the same room.
Yes,
So-
we're actually in the same room, guys.
Yeah.
This is cool. See, now I can do this on.
So I thought that would be fun to go over, and of course, we do have a show. Of course, there are
We have a
some things to
show.
talk about. Okay.
Actually, some pretty crazy stuff. Now that I think about the lineup here,
Yeah.
we are doing it from his laptop, so we're doing it differently. It's not through OBS, it's through Zoom, and so Brad's doing brilliant with everything. So yeah, great. It's so good. He's the tech guy around here. Just so you know, I just say hi. I just sit here.
I'm just chill. Oh man. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't have extra screens, so I can't see the chat too much. I have Foxhole on my phone, but it's like really small.
Oh, okay. Here. Let me get. I have this open. Let me refresh this. Oops.
I'm gonna open up the first article here.
Ooh, I went to a different stream. Hold on, I'll get us there.
Whoa. Okay. So first, let's see. The news.
We're missing that transition.
I know, yeah. So this is something. All right. So this is something I thought would be cool first before we get into the craziness. There is craziness coming. I promise you. So these are solar panels that they've been using these in Saudi Arabia apparently, and there are solar panels, but they also pull water vapor to grow crops in the desert. So they double up. Which I thought was so freaking cool.
Dude,
especially
what a
here,
brilliant idea.
where it's like rainforest. This could take the water.
What a
And
brilliant idea, dude.
So it's using a unique hydrogel. Scientists in Saudi Arabia have successfully drawn water.
Out of the dry air.
Yeah. Okay. And they use it. We even finished those sets. And they grow in spinach with it. That's awesome too. Okay.
Pop in the same limit. That was good. That was good.
You ever hear? You ever Opie and Anthony? Possibly not. I know they were like syndicated most places. I don't know if it came all the way out here.
I don't know.
But
I don't
he
think
used to
really
do like a
understood.
good Andrew Dice Clay impression, but also a good Popeye impression.
But also
So one time we did like Popeye Dice Clay. I think it was
the
like
combo.
yeah. We did like Andrew Dice Clay, but in the Popeye accent. Not now. After the stream, guys, but look up Popeye Dice Clay. It's really good. So this says the system offers a sustainable, low-cost strategy to improve food and water security for people living in dry climate regions, and a fraction of the world's population still doesn't access to clean water or green power, and many of them live in rural areas with arid or semi-arid climate.
So it's interesting they use a gel that pulls the water out of the air. So it must have, like, is it done like, I don't know, like almost electrically? I don't know, like what draws it, you know? It's really cool.
Well, maybe something with the panels. It doesn't say exactly how it works here. But
See,
I
that's
thought that
the
was
cool
super
thing too,
interesting.
guys. Like I know the time and age we live in, and a lot of people that control these things are usually corrupt people. But the technology in itself is cool. Like inventions are cool, ways to further or like be more energy efficient, like stuff like that is really, really awesome. So I always love this stuff.
I know, I love it too. Well, I think it would be like a cool way to, subsidize and lower your electric bill. And also too, that's a good, it's a good addition in some places, but to just like, they want to just replace things like cars, which is crazy. And then the electric cars, they're getting it from a plant.
And then the batteries are all
petroleum and fossil fuels.
And the batteries that they'd be using are all coming from China.
Right.
So it's like, yay, guys.
And they can be shut off.
Yes, they can be shut off.
And there's things cops do it. There's things where they'll shut them off and stuff.
Wait, well, I know we'll continue, but wasn't it one of the Ukrainian government told Elon Musk to shut the cars off that he was helping refugees get out of or something? I'm not sure.
Yeah, they asked him to do something. I don't think he did it. I would imagine he possibly did it. I don't know though. Yeah.
Just the interesting thing that somebody was.
But they asked him to shut Starlink off, and he didn't do that.
Ooh.
Yeah, so.
I think the truth needs to be put out there. I mean, clearly that's a sign of like tyranny and censorship,
Right.
probably propaganda, like
Of the highest order. You can't see over here. Yes. No, nothing to see. Yeah, this is peak nothing to see here. I always liked with the aqua turbines. Like there are different things with with your pipes where it could turn, where it's constantly every time you fall in water, it turns them and you can generate energy.
That's energy. That's a lot of energy if you really think about
Stuff
it.
like that. And especially places if you even could get it, like I always thought, like you set up a rain catch, you'd have a pipe that just drains it, sort of like a thing. But in that pipe, you just constantly, every time it rains, you're generating some energy.
Yeah, that's actually really cool. It is really possible if you had a lot of stuff set up on your house, you could just by gathering little energy here, little energy there, and you have battery banks, and you just store it. You know, you could almost be self-sufficient or completely, maybe, you know.
Right, yeah. If you get enough, yeah, because I would like really it's solar panels, and then if you add some of those things, maybe even might even be other technologies. If you get a bunch of them, and you just have a sufficient house.
It just like energy, like if you are doing it your own, like and you don't have to be dependent on anybody, you cannot be manipulated. Like that's the thing. The government goes, "Oh yeah, you're not going to behave. We're going to turn off your heat or whatever."
Yeah.
Like it's horrible, but it's actually a tool that they use. So yeah, the more free of that you can be, the better.
Right. Exactly. And then they can't just shut you off or do sanctions.
Do sanctions.
And like,
I'm going to sanction you.
And it's like right now, like look what they did. They basically shut Russia off, which is funny. I love that they're doing like sanctions and say, "Oh, we're going to cut you off from all this." The whole reason why they want to collapse Russia for so long and why they're so interested in it and they're so frustrated that they can't take it over the way a lot of the other countries that it spawned off from the USSR, because there are abundance of natural resources. And natural resources is the name of the game. That is it for all these big names, all these big pieces on the chessboard. It's all about hoarding natural resources. That is the absolute bottom line for all of it.
Game.
That's what Russia has. That's why they mess them. They want to collapse them and all this stuff. So it's like cutting them off for what? They're just going to laugh at you. And then they took away McDonald's and all these things. Like, so, okay, you're going to just stop.
We're just going to be healthier.
You're going to stop poisoning them too. Oh, wow, you're really doing a number on Russia. Okay. But one thing that I thought was interesting is Russia, they hit back today with their own sanctions and banned Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, Blinken, and a whole list. The CIA director Bill Burns, White House National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan, turncoat loser General Mark Milley, Chen Psaki.
Dude, they're like we don't want to come here. Isn't there a picture of her wearing a pink?
Yes.
Thing with the
Russian. I think
fight.
with the hammer and sickle.
The sickle thing. Yeah. Like I don't even know about
the
her.
USSR thing.
But congratulations on them. They're actually doing a good honor to their country.
And former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton.
Okay, guys, Russia. So this is real.
It's probably the best thing you could ever do for your country. Oh yeah, this is CBS.
So this is just what I think about this real quick.
Yeah.
Is the fact that he would call these people out by name and ban them from going to Russia when clearly they probably were not going.
Right.
The only thing that's for them is to make a statement.
Yeah, well, he said he was gonna.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, just specifically, especially.
Yeah, Hillary Clinton, Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, which they've been, dude, they're dirty over there. I mean, all I know is like he had control of some of the people in the government over there when he told them to stop investigating his son, or you don't get that money. Like that was real collusion, and it's like, anyways. So.
Yeah. And they're going to. I think they're going to, any of them that have bank accounts there, they said they're going to freeze them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or their assets or anything like that.
Yeah, they freeze their assets and stuff. So that's interesting. That's implying that at least some of them possibly do. We know the Clintons have been making ties. Bill Clinton is the one who signed the megawatts. It's the megawatt program that is where we were kind of sending our uranium over to Russia to get enriched, and then they were sending us enriched uranium from their decommissioned nukes. And we made energy deals with Russia, huge, because of Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton, megawatts to millions, maybe, possibly. But it's something like that. And Obama, he kept it going when it came time to come up.
Wasn't that uranium one?
And then with the uranium one, right, linked to like Rosatom and all these things. So they've been making energy deals and stuff with Russia forever. Joe Biden was still buying gas. I think he pretended to cut it off just recently. He was still buying gas almost this whole time from them. There is a whole weird underbelly. You know, I know none of us fully, we don't all claim to 100% understand what's going on. All we know is that it sure seems a lot different than the official narrative. That's just.
It's like, it's another world. We know it exists. Like, we might not be in there because we're not like spies, people understanding in their deals, but we do know they orchestrate wars, they orchestrate events together so that they can benefit in the end. So where on our level, they're fighting, right? So we just got to always pay attention. But Ukraine, Russia, all that, it's pretty, it's, I don't know, it's a head scratcher for me because there's a lot of things.
So many
like with Putin, with banning these guys, I'm like, oh heck yeah, right? What a great move.
But
I know the media makes him look like he's evil, and so it's just like, you know, sorry, I don't know how much I could talk about this right now.
Oh, bad. I don't know. You're
streaming on mute.
You know what? At this point, who cares? Well, you know what too is that think about this. I saw someone make this point. I thought it was so good the other day. They're going in, according to them anyway, right? Whether you believe it or not, you know, again, this is clearly war, goes back and forth with all types of spies and who's lying and who's what. They're claiming that they're going in for biolabs and to free up the Ukrainian people, right? So whether that's true or not, we went into Iraq claiming, look for weapons of mass destruction, turned out not to be true, and we killed hundreds of thousands of people while we're doing that. So why were we kicked out of? We weren't kicked off the world stage. Why were we weren't sanctioned? We weren't anything. What's the difference? Right. So that's, you know, we were going to free the Iraqi people. Iraq is just it's been in shambles ever since.
And I see a lot of times, like lately, it's like they do these controlled wars where they make it set up in a way they benefit in certain ways. Yeah. Like during that war, I think they were getting gas or, you know, oil from the country. They were doing poppy seed fields and sending it over with our troops. Right? Like, there's so much dirty stuff you find out, and you're like, "What is this really about?" Yeah, like, you know. What? And then Trump comes in. He pretty much brings almost everybody home. It was just a little bit left, and you know, but he was doing it the right way. And so it's just, I don't know. There's a lot of wars that just seem very orchestrated. Let's put it that way.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like these controlled opposition. Right. And it's funny, user for anyone who's been going to usable.news lately, the headline that I put up yesterday, because I thought was great, well, really last night, this morning, is OAN had a great clip where they pointed out that Trump was the first president in nearly 4 decades to not start a new conflict. And not have a new conflict start. So if it's,
that's my man.
Yeah. So
Trump. Sorry.
I mean, it's the best. And he was bringing tons of people home and all that stuff. So it's definitely to be noted. And also, speaking of one of the people who was just sanctioned and banned, someone they know, shocker. And then, I know it's going from the Daily Beast. So, you know, hold your nose while I read this. But American pastor who adopted Haitian orphans charged with sex abuse. So this guy, I believe his name, Corrigan Clay, he was arrested Thursday. He was for child exploitation and obscenity.
Oh, he's probably doing video. Crap.
Probably. Apparently they had to, his ex-wife was the one, he had 2 biological children with him and then 2 adopted children. They haven't said yet which child it was, but he's been indicted for for
Oh.
sexual exploitation of one of them, which is despicable. But this is also someone who has met with Bill Clinton.
Oh,
of course, the same thing. And so he was Bill Clinton had
a
visited
parent
the
project. A parent project.
Yep.
That was the thing that they were connected in. Oh my gosh. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
And well, I was just going to add that, and then his ex-wife, attended Clinton Global Initiative meeting in New York. So yet another associate of Bill Clinton up with child perverted crap. He was a good friend of Epstein. Here's someone up for all this perverted crap. A big friend of his,
and he was at Epstein's. I think he was one of the highest.
Yeah,
I think it was 40 or something crazy.
Yeah,
too much.
There was a lot.
It was a lot.
At least 26 times. A lot of them were on this whole trip that they took to Africa, where they were going to place together. Yeah. So he was on the logs a whole bunch of times from there, flying around Africa with Jeffrey Epstein. And then
nothing's really documented, so they pretty much could do whatever the heck they wanted.
Right. I think Virginia Giuffre, in one of her depositions, she said she had seen him on the island with 2 underage girls. Mm-hmm. So he's been pinpointed on the island. Yeah. And she's been pretty vindicated that day. She just settled with Prince Andrew. He gave her a ton of money. You don't give someone money if you're especially with that much power. Well, he's just.
She was probably like, I'm going to do it. And who knows how high up, because when you go way high up, there's like death threat things or like assassins or whatever.
Right.
But who knows? Maybe she was protected in a way that she's like, hey, I won't go public with this. And then like, no, we got to protect it.
Right. Yeah.
Keep it secret.
Keep it secret. Keep it safe. We have to watch. I'm trying to get her to watch the Lord of the Rings marathon.
Yes.
At some point. We both like the Lord. Now, this is again just a little recap to why this is not shocking.
These are some of the 33 Haitian children an American Baptist group allegedly tried to unlawfully take out of the country on Saturday. Orphans and abandoned children, victims of the earthquake, some as young as 2 months old. The Haitian authorities stopped the bus they were on as they were about to cross into neighboring Dominican Republic. With them were 10 Americans. They are now in police custody. And they reportedly say they were planning to set up an orphanage for the children in the Dominican Republic.
Our understanding was that we were told by a number of people, including Dominican authorities, that we would be able to bring the children across. I understand that. Sir, that's the mistake obviously we made, is we did not understand that there was additional paperwork required.
The group insists this was an act of charity, not profit, with the consent of the children's families.
I saw that family members were giving them away because the parents were dead, and the family members couldn't support them, so the families were giving their children up so they could be cared for and to study.
The earthquake has left tens of thousands of children homeless.
That's what they're saying, that they were giving them away. But look who's the one who got caught trafficking them across the border. One Laura Silsby, who was, in fact, a good friend of the Clintons.
Really?
And Bill Clinton himself had to personally intervene to get her out of there. So
really?
Yep. And she now works for Alert Sense, which makes
That's that one.
Yeah,
oh my gosh, I remember this. I remember all this. This is so creepy.
With the software for Amber Alerts. So that's good. Well, I don't know. Maybe she does now in the last couple of years, but that was a couple of years ago she did. And here was a little interesting too, that came out of Haiti, when the CNN reporter, because we all know child trafficking really goes hand in hand with a lot of organ harvesting and stuff. And this is after the same earthquake at the same time, accidentally finds a box of corneas.
Well, you know what's interesting, Tony, is they don't need more supplies, they need the right supplies. So on the one hand, they don't have tourniquets, and they have 2 blood pressure cuffs for 200 patients. But on the other hand, here's what they do have. Sorry, they have corneas. Yes, these are actual corneas from cadavers that people lovingly donated, signed their organ card. And they have corneas. They're not doing cornea surgery here.
Right.
They're barely able to do amputations. Yeah, so, no one knows how these ended up here. I found them underneath the table next to a box of granola bars.
Oh,
Right.
my God.
Oops.
Oh, next to a box of granola bars.
Yeah.
Oh, what a fun thing to open up.
So so she found that's organoid.
And she's like, why would that be there?
Yeah.
And they were, more in just a random place. Yeah.
Yeah. So this
Wow.
is a makeshift hospital they had made at the time. So what was going on behind closed doors,
Yeah.
and why did that get misplaced? And why were they sending out boxes of corneas? So this is big business. Stuff like that is big business.
Yes.
And of course, who introduced Hillary to the gold mine that became Haiti for all of them?
In places like Haiti, a country that has less money in the bank than he does. Last month, he brought the First Lady with him for a look at some of the projects his foundation is funding.
This is Mr. George Soros, and he's going to be helping the hospital.
This year, Soros plans to give away almost $500 million around the world. In Bosnia, when the water supply to Sarajevo was cut off at the height of the siege, it was Soros who wrote a check to jury-rig a pipeline through an abandoned highway tunnel.
She's like, this is George Soros.
Yeah,
Creepy to see them both together like that.
I know. So that's who introduced her to Haiti in the 90s. And that was from 98, but I think that footage was from the early 90s, which that's most of the money. The Clinton Foundation took in a ton of money to rebuild Haiti. I think they rebuilt like a couple apartment buildings. They built like next to nothing. And all of a sudden, she had all this money, which people speculate that she bailed out the bankrupt Democrats and why they put up with her garbage.
Yeah.
A lot. And of course, we all know about the infamous Clinton body count list.
Yes.
I'm just saying, I mean, if you were going to ban anyone from your country, probably the Clintons might be your first to go with.
So true.
Even if half of
If
these
you value your life.
right. Like, even if half of these are coincidences.
But some of them aren't.
I know.
Some of them are nuts, guys. I remember there's people that were going to take them to court about something. Their house blows up.
Right.
And what they say it was a gas leak.
Right.
Dude, seriously, there's
that was
stuff
like
that happened.
a recent one, right?
That one, I don't know. It was a little bit back, but it's just like these things happen, and it's like death, a trail of death.
I mean, it is. James McDougal, he was the one with Whitewater. He was their partner, died of a heart attack while in solitary confinement. He was a key witness, obviously. You have Mark Mahoney, a former White House intern, was murdered at Starbucks. Vince Foster committed suicide by shooting himself twice in the back of the head. So that's good.
Oh, I looked into that one. A lot of these guys, if you look into them, the stories get even stranger. I'm telling you. Like he just gets up and leaves for 15 minutes and he never comes back, and they find he walked out of the woods randomly like he would never do. Like all this weird stuff, and then it's read off like suicide.
Yeah, guys, he just killed them. Dude, either if anyone who knows this many people who've quote unquote killed themselves, saying it's all real, well, then you are either the most depressing couple on the planet Earth, or they have seen things they can't unsee.
Yep.
And all these people, they all either died crazy or look at this. It just goes on. This was in a George magazine on that list of presidents.
Oh, George magazine.
Yeah.
They got some cool stuff sometimes, I'll tell you.
And they published that book, list of presidents. He has the Clinton body count list in there. Published around 98, actually.
Wow.
All these freaking people. So that's basically.
So you're saying Junior did that?
Junior was the main, that was his thing. He was the main publisher of that. So he oversaw that. It's just something like, you go in and you look over all the stuff.
They clearly knew a lot of stuff even back then.
Yeah.
So at least it's coming out now, which is awesome.
Yeah, it really is. So there's some crazy stuff. That's another Clinton associate, someone who at least has a tie to them, arrested for lurid acts, like we've been seeing. The sanctions, Russia sanctions, are pretty nuts. And one thing I think is interesting is it's funny how right before this war started, what was coming out? Durham had just filed papers saying that they were literally spying on a sitting president and
some
Trump Tower beforehand, that they were literally getting tech people to try and infiltrate Trump Tower and the executive office of president. So that it just come out, and then sorry, wiped from the news. Now it's just like, oh my God, great.
And also the same thing with COVID and the vaccine stuff, vaccine injuries, the Pfizer stuff. Like, I know it's probably repetitive when you say it, but it's important to note it is a whitewash of like what's on the news. So, like,
everything.
Forget that. Pay attention to this.
Yeah, memory hole.
Be emotionally compromised on this. They don't want you thinking. So
it's like, where's Dr. Fauci?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Dr. Fauci is nowhere to be seen. And it just came out with the Project Veritas and all that stuff. And see, that's another thing too, with Project Veritas. Just came out. What was it? They just released something that was another bombshell.
With COVID vaccines?
No.
Project Veritas is always doing
There's
awesome.
so many things. There's so many things. I wish I could see. I'm sure they have it. Someone probably has it in the chat right now. But Project Veritas just came out with a huge freaking bombshell. The guy in the New York Times talking about how January 6th was so overblown and a joke. And he was saying how there were FBI informants who were part of the people who attacked it, and that it was a setup.
I missed that. Are you serious?
Yeah, this just came out, and that there was CIA and FBI was involved, and that he was saying how like it's completely being used as slander for garbage. And then when he was saying with the FBI forwards, he was like, "That's us who uncovered that. Not some right wing thing. We uncovered that." And then when James O'Keefe encountered him, he didn't want to know nothing. Of course, they never want to know nothing, but you're already on record, guys. So.
Wow.
So,
and if you think about that in general, just like the FBI and the CIA and those other organizations being involved in that is dirty. That's like manipulating the public's opinion. That is manipulating people's because then they changed things because of that. They made a fake scenario, right? They made it dangerous. And then they put out a bulletin calling anybody in that group terrorists, and they slowly make it evolve in the news, and the next thing you know, we're bad guys.
Yeah,
we didn't do anything. Like
everyone associated with Trump is some crazy, So it's been interesting. So a lot of crazy stuff coming out in the world, of course, but also a lot of good stuff. Yeah. And it's always a good reminder to be out in nature and say, well, this planet's still beautiful, and there's still beautiful souls and places where things are going. And that's why I like looking into stuff too. Like we started with the solar panels and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. I love looking at all those cool technologies, because the more off grid and off their system we can all become, the more independent.
Right.
Then whatever, let them do their
and it doesn't have to be low tech either. Like we're smart, advanced people. Like a lot of the products and things, yes, are more owned and controlled by these big things like Google or whatever.
Right.
But you can make your own stuff, and you can learn ways to make things work in maybe a non-conventional way, and like thinking outside the box. And so that's cool, and we can do that. Humans are freaking smart, and we can do anything. I'm convinced of it.
Without a doubt.
I think we've been held back a lot, so we could break out, see the sunlight.
Oh man. And it's like the more you can do stuff like that, like for me, the ultimate would be to have complete solar panels, right? Done with that. To have your own water, whether it be, there's certain things like 0 point water, where you dig down really far and get it apparently, or well water, or rain catch, something like that. To have your own water supply, to grow your own vegetables.
Yep.
to raise your own, chickens probably be the easiest. It's been fun hanging with your chickens.
Oh yeah, we gotta do some videos and stuff chickens next time.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
We'll get some good chicken videos.
It's really cool. It's funny, Devin Nunes on True Social just posted something with all the different colored eggs.
Oh really?
Yeah,
That's
and so he
awesome.
must have chickens or so, or friends or something. And it looked like, I think there were 13, so a baker's dozen. So maybe a tip to the bakers. They've been pretty much being pretty brazen on that. But I was just looking and I was like, oh, well, now that I see that they lay all different color eggs and all that stuff. I know you've shown me in the past, but it's cool seeing it.
Well, it depends on the different breeds. We'll lay different eggs, like different colors. And it's fun because later on you can take like two, let's say, separate chicken breeds.
Yeah.
And then you can have them breed and then, incubate the eggs and make babies, right? Hatch them. Then you can have that baby grows up. Yeah. And its egg will be a mixture of those two breeds.
Is it really?
So you can literally, there's people online that are crazy. They try to make like the whole rainbow spectrum of eggs. It's a real thing. Yeah. There's some crazy chicken people online. But
that's awesome.
It's fun.
So there's a crazy chicken community online.
Yes.
Oh man. So that's cool. Yeah, we'll definitely get some videos of chickens because they're cool. And I like how there's two roosters, right?
Yes.
And one's like it's like a debonair gentleman.
Oh, I should show you more of how he's just a sweet. He'll take the bread and then he'll drop it in front of the hens. Like he won't eat it. He'll go, here you go, and he'll go cook, 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 and he'll call them over. So he's really nice, right?
That's cool.
And then the other guy, Larry, he's a jerk, dude. He's so mean. I've seen him chase the girls around. Anyways,
I've seen a lot of people online. Apparently, a lot of roosters like that. They said.
Yeah.
The Larry's more of a normal.
Duke's a nice one, and Larry's a regular jerk. Rooster.
Oh, they've come to stop the rooster. Yeah. So that'd be cool. So that's been a lot of fun. But I think like those things, the more you can get on your own grid, your own stuff. And it's funny, me and my brother have been talking about this for so long, for probably like 15 years. But it's so cool to see some of it actually in action. So it actually does have chickens and stuff. Mm-hmm. But just if you can make your own homestead, well, then you kind of remove yourself from the equation because they can only control us by controlling all these things. And that's why I believe they want to go to electric cars so bad.
Right, because that's ruining our economy. Now, like what Trump was trying to do, this is why what Trump was trying to do is so beautiful. He was trying to keep our resources for us. It's like what a regular homestead would be. You'd be like, I have my chickens, I have my, maybe lamb or whatever. Yeah. I've got my trees for my firewood, I've got my water. And it's almost like a living, breathing thing, like how it works out. So Trump wanted that for our country, where we got our own oil, we produced it, manufactured, we made it into gas, and like we would be sustainable on our own.
Yes.
Then Biden happens, and
classic Biden.
And then this is how they do it real quick. I know I won't go too long. But they use environment.
I don't know.
They use the environment.
I never tell her not to talk or anything. She says this is on herself, I promise you.
They use the environment crisis as a way to say, oh, you're hurting the planet.
Right.
You can't do that no more. And then to be a good citizen, right, you have to give away what I believe is your God-given resources. If you're a human alive on this planet, you should be able to use the resources. Okay, my rant's done.
I don't know to follow up with that. I was like, dude, I too short. It always sounds, we always shows are like, I'm sorry I was ranting tonight. I'm like, that's the point of we have a show, so we can both this rant.
Okay.
So I like it. I personally like your rants.
I like your rants. They're awesome.
I like your rants. Oh, classic. Oh man. Well, this has been fun. I really like I like that we know that this works now.
Yeah. We're high tech on Zoom now, Bradley.
Because it's like you could kind of do stuff, even if we're out of here, like ever something with OBS or whatever. The only thing is Rumble. I'm going to be starting with a new thing. We did test it the one time. It was a little shaky, but I'm getting a little bit of a Prism instead of OBS. in a little bit, and then I'll be able to do extra custom RNTPs. So right now, even though I have the Rumble ready, I can't really do it yet until I get that fully set up.
Okay.
So Rumble will probably be in about 3 weeks. Then we'll also be on there. But really, everyone should be going to Foxhole. Pill.net. Make your Pill.net account now, wherever you are. That's the place to be. And it is just, it's getting better and better. These guys, they're constantly working on this.
And I gotta say, it's one of those places that's gonna grow because I can feel it.
Oh,
Can I say I can feel it in my jelly? Really though?
Jealous.
Really, it's one of those, because like when I went there, like, because you can go there right now and see, it's changed a lot. And then I was like, wait a minute, Brad, they're gonna make this like a platform. He's like, oh yeah, dude, they're gonna have like everything. I'm like, oh, okay, I want to get my name right now, so I have that, you know. So and the tech support's really nice. And
oh yeah, they're the best. I think I might have saw Matt even in the comments here.
Oh really?
So it's literally being made by our friends, by like cool people just like us. So these guys are awesome, and I don't hear all the things they're working on, but I hear some things, and basically they have regular conversations like, oh, what do we like about this platform? What do we like about that platform? Eventually, where there's going to be pretty decent updates coming in a couple months that are really put Pilled on the map, in my opinion. Cool. And then the way they work, honestly, I'm going to say like in a year or two, that place will be by far the best, and it'll be a cool like add-on headquarters, right? You'll have Truth Social. Before all like the normie Trump supporters and us supporters.
The normie Trump supporters.
And then you'll have Pilled will be like our, special add-on headquarters.
Yeah, what's
and it'll be kind of like how people use like Twitter and Discord and stuff. And they kind of like they all convene in Discord and everything, and then they'd go bomb Twitter with all this stuff. So I feel like between the two platforms, it'll be kind of be like our own built from the ground up. Both these platforms are built from the ground up versions of those things. So I don't know. It's pretty exciting.
And just in general, this is such a good point. Now is the time, like if you guys like me to start doing things like that, because it's kind of like, the post from long ago, like we are the news now.
Yeah.
Eventually, if all this fake news gets exposed, there's going to be nothing, guys. So we need to kind of retake that place. And so this is a great place to do it. And yeah, like, it's straight up cool platform. People can donate. Like, why not, man? Go in there, make it again.
Yeah,
super sweet.
It's freaking awesome. It really is. And I know this just started on me, but it's Pill.net is the best. Everyone on every other platform. Eventually, that's where we're all going to be. So I would totally get your Pill.net account ready now, sooner than later. This way you're ready to go. It's already operational at the moment. It's cool, but it is going to be like very much jumped up from everything I've been hearing. But it's awesome. Thank you guys for hanging out with us, of course, and thank you everyone. I just want to look at some of these. I have it on my phone here.
I have the phone for D-Live. You have it for Foxhole.
Yeah, I have a Foxhole, but oh man, I know I saw Brooke Castle. I didn't realize that it was going to recycle the chat like that. But I know I saw some of you guys donating. Thank you so much. I think I saw Brooke Castle and Miracle Girly. I think Matt had one of the people for Pilled and Foxhole. I think I saw him too. Just been there. Thank you everyone else. Obviously, I will be a little more the next couple of weeks. I'm here. Oh, Kitty Woo with the cookies. Thank you. Wow. Thank you, everyone. D Patriot 7076. I have it on my phone here. You can hear it coming. Mute. Yeah. Hey, thanks for knowledge of the shades. Some of the coolest streamers around.
Woo!
You guys touched my heart.
We try.
Yeah.
We try.
Brooke Castle, Gallus, and cookies. But we love you guys for sure. I'm not sure. I guess I can release the scratch in.
TL Spudge said you guys are great together. Oh, thank you. I love that I can be here like this. This is nice.
This is so awesome. Hopefully one day in the future, this is how all our streams will be.
I know, right?
Oh man. Okay, I think I know. I'm gonna release the scratching if you will.
Okay.
Very
Can you
soon.
do it?
That's it. I'll have to go to brought to you by Pilled.net first, which links right to the foxhole. And
Oh man, I should make a Pill.net theme song, Brad.
I know. I want. Oh my God.
Pill.net.
It's the best yet. Dude, I want to. You have no idea. I know it's funny. Sometimes I'll mention these things. And like,
I felt like if anyone in there played like Sega or Sonic the Hedgehog or anything like that, you remember in the old school when I opened it would go Sega like that, like do something like that. Like,
Sega.
Oh yeah, Sega. I remember that one too. Yeah.
Oh, we got Amethyst cookie with Amethyst cat with cookie. Oh, good to see you. Willie Break It with the shades. Enjoy your visit. Why, thank you. Yes, I'm going to be here for another week and a half. I believe, something like that. Yeah. So it's been awesome. It's flying by. I wish it wasn't. Honestly, I wish I could just stay here. This is freaking amazing.
Like I told him, I said, "You're in my territory now."
But guys, this has been a lot of fun, and it definitely we will see you back here Tuesday. I will see you guys also Friday for the FRIGGIN Friday night show, and it'll be fun as always. But from Brad and Abby, do you have any final thoughts?
Take care, guys. Keep watching keep paying attention to everything. Obviously, I have positive vibes coming for the future. The truth is coming out, so hold tight. Hold fast.
Yeah.
Hold fast.
Stand firm.
Stand firm. Yeah, man.
The Octopath Travel. All right, guys. We'll see you next Sunday.
And
we'll have
you.
cool chicken videos for you.
Oh, chicken videos.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, guys. Take care.